the story. When I was filming with the guy, when we got done, the son actually worked here most of the time. His father and son.
Yeah.
And the father, I talked to him on the phone because he found out what we filmed and all that, and he mentioned that they were thinking of retirement at some point. And so I said, so does that mean that you're going to sell the building? He said, probably. And I said, well, when that day comes, you call me first. So he called me in about November or October of 2019 and said it's for sale.
Hey.
And that's when we started. We didn't really put anything together till really February of 2020.
Yeah.
And but by then we were able, that gave him a chance to see if other people were going to buy it, which other people were trying to buy it, but they wouldn't have done this with it. They were going to turn it into these different businesses, And so it's just, I think the Lord lined it up. It was just meant to be.
It's fantastic, I must say. With what you have here and what is ahead, it seems. It looks like you're getting donations from fans here. Are they're loaning out?
Yeah, we're getting fans are putting
very impressive
from private collections. This is for the fans by the fans.
Yeah, I know.
So this is from a private collection. This is a lady that lives in Washington D.C. and you can see she's got a very impressive,
very nice
collection. And this was actually Ronnie McDowell helped me with this as well. Ronnie McDowell's girlfriend and his merch manager.
Ronnie McDowell, the songwriter,
the singer and songwriter.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And Ronnie, Lisa. This lady's name's Lisa, and she lives in Washington, D.C. She brought these to see Ronnie in Red Bowling Springs, Tennessee, which is north of where I live. Ronnie lives where I live, and he's a good friend. And she brought this stuff from Washington, D.C. So Ronnie put it in his tour bus, and they brought it here to us. So they shuttled it for us.
I see.
So if it wasn't for Ronnie's girlfriend and Ronnie and his merch manager, we wouldn't have this stuff. I would have had to go get it.
Very nice.
So they were
very
it's
nice a costume store. Is an enterprise they have.
Tell me again.
It seemed some of them say they are. The shirts they say are from the costume store.
Yeah, but those are real Elvis shirts.
Yeah,
he would have just purchased that brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have other things. Tennessee Ted is in some of the videos. We call him the mayor of Graceland. So what I did was when I knew we were going to do this,
his collection's very nice.
I knew that I didn't have enough stuff personally.
Yeah.
Pat didn't have enough stuff personally to do a museum.
Right.
So what I did was called friends.
There you
I
go.
called Tennessee Ted. I called Larry Moss. I called Bob Foley, which Bob doesn't have anything in here yet, but he's going to. I called Joey Smith, and I wasn't even planning on Joey and them being a part of this. In the way that
they have a nice collection.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
What we were planning on doing is I called Joey and Dakota because I knew that they had a background in MMA fighting and karate. And I said, hey, it would be cool if you guys could do lessons here.
Right.
So he still didn't really understand what this was.
Right.
When I finally got him here to see this, he was like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing here. So we want to be a part of this. So that's kind of how that happened.
That's really cool.
And so we got them a part. So they've got stuff in the cabinet. We have stuff, so I've reached out to Kang Rhee's family because this was his dojo.
Right.
And you see the Kang Rhee's family, they put
very
stuff in
impressive.
Here. So this honors Kang Rhee.
Yeah.
He's the creator of Pasaru Karate, which what happened was Ed Parker was out in California. And in the 60s, Elvis was practicing with Ed Parker. Well, after the movie era, Elvis wasn't really going to L.A. very much.
Was the Ed Parker studio in Pasadena?
I think so.
Yeah, I saw it when I...
Yeah, and so his studio, that's where Elvis would practice on that thing. And they're getting ready to tear that down and build apartment buildings or something.
That doesn't surprise me.
And so what's going to happen is, or what happened was, he was getting Ed to come here.
I see.
Which is not reasonable to do karate lessons. And Ed finally said, you've got Master Rhee right there in Memphis. So I would recommend that you go to Master Rhee and let him be a part of, and start studying with him. So that's how that came about.
That's a connection.
So he studied with Master Rhee from about 70 to 74. He got his 7th and 8th degree black belt in this room.
Yeah.
Where that blue star is at, you see him get his 8th degree black belt. Or the 8th Dan is what they call that. Or the 8th Dan, actually. And so what happened is during that time, Elvis and Bill Wallace, which Bill taught lessons here, Superfoot is Bill Wallace. So Elvis and Bill Wallace and Red West decided that they were going to open a dojo in Midtown. which is when you watch the videos of Elvis going upstairs, that's Midtown. That's TKI, Tennessee Karate Institute. Right. So Elvis was planning on doing TKI. So after the end of 74, Kang Rhee moved out of here because Elvis was no longer studying here. He had started his own dojo.
Right.
So when you watch the movie or the footage for the New American Gladiators, you see them in this dojo, and then the same day they go over to TKI.
I see.
So the way you can tell that is Red West is wearing the same outfit at both places.
Yeah.
And he's not wearing a gi; he's wearing street clothes. You know, a lot of polyester. And but that's what happened. And so after that, they practiced over there. Now that's Patrick Wren's dojo. That's an active dojo right now. And Patrick and I are going to team up where we're going to make it where you can buy a ticket here and do both dojos. Buy a ticket
very
there
cool.
and do both dojos.
Very cool. Yeah.
That way we're cross promoting.
Right.
Because a lot of people know that's there and don't know this is here, or they know this is here and don't know that's there.
Yeah, I recognize the Kang Rhee name.
Right.
I don't. That's new to me today.
And there's actually a third dojo.
Okay.
The third dojo is 1911 Poplar, which Kang Rhee's family still owns. And that is no longer a dojo. That's a bar. But that's how Kang Rhee's wife, that's her revenue is from that building.
I see.
So that's a way that she makes a living.
Yeah. No.
But they still own that. He got that building in 1966. We have the business license for it back here in the case.
Very cool.
He opened the very first dojo.
Very cool.
So he opened his first dojo in 66. Elvis started practicing with him in 70 to 74. So there's really 3 dojos. And you'll see photos of Elvis and Kang Rhee and even Priscilla in that dojo. But there's not really much else. There's a handful of photos in that dojo. Most people are more familiar with this one in TKI.
What was the idea with American Gladiator? He wanted to make a movie about karate?
He wanted to make a movie about karate and get people fired up about karate like he was fired up about karate. He had a passion for it. So he wanted other people to enjoy the same passion that he had for it. But he also looked at karate as a Christian thing, as a religious thing. So if you watch him in the videos, you'll see them in here praying as part of the
so it was experience. Spiritual too, as mind and body kind of thing.
And if you listen to or read about, you could read about what his vision for the New American Gladiators movie was. The very last scene that he described that was going to be in the movie was going to be a man in a karate gi doing karate moves on top of a mountain, and then zooming into the man on top of the mountain as he was reciting the Lord's Prayer. And I would assume that man would have been him.
I see.
Of course, that scene never happened because sadly, after 75, his health really declined.
Yeah.
He set aside $125,000 for this movie. You can find those documents out there where he had planned on doing it. And the footage was eventually turned into a documentary type film, not really what he had in mind.
Okay.
And you can find that out there. It's actually
I just saw clips of it.
It was actually narrated by Wayne Carman. We call him Karate Wayne. And they had Wayne because Wayne's in those videos.
Yeah.
You see him, he was in the dojo as well. But it was narrated by Wayne. But it really wasn't done the way Elvis was wanting it done. It was done more as a documentary.
Right. After Elvis's death?
Oh, yes. Yeah, way after. Way after.
Yeah.
But he had a love